Alright guys, so today we're going to talk about reflecting functions across the x-axis and the y-axis. Let's talk about the first one first. We want to reflect a graph across the x. It could go either way. So what do? Basically, if you want to make sure you're reflecting on the x, all you do is whatever function you have, you multiply every single term by a negative. So look at this example. They gave you x cubed minus 2x squared minus 2x. Well, if we want to get this to flip across the x-axis, all we do is multiply everything by a -1. Look what's going to happen. That's going to be x cubed negative x cubed. Negative times a negative, that will be a positive 2x squared. And this will be a positive 2x. Essentially, you're just changing the sign of every term. Now, how can we check if this is true? Let's go ahead and open up our good old friend, Mr. Desmos. Let's graph the original. That was x to the power of 3 minus 2x squared minus 2x. That's the original, guys. If I were to graph the new one, this would be negative x to the power of 3 plus 2x squared plus 2x. Now, let's analyze these graphs, guys. I'm going to go ahead and take a picture of this so you can see it. Sorry about that. Let me show you again. Little screenshot. Well, look at the original. I think the original, whichever one's the original, look at this. The first one was here. If we were to reflect it across the x, isn't it the blue one right here? Isn't it a complete flip? Look at this one over here. This is going down, and if we flip it across the x, it's going up. So notice how it's the same thing everywhere you see. Everywhere you see it's flipping in. So that's how you know it's a flip across the x-axis. Well, how can you flip it across the y? Very simple. You have the same thing. You're not multiplying everything by a negative. You are plugging in a negative x. What do I mean by that? Check this out. For every x you see, you're going to plug in a negative x. Look at that. For every x you see, you're plugging in a negative x. And it's going to be a little different, guys. Look at this. Well, negative x cubed, isn't that negative x times negative x times negative x? So what's a negative times a negative? That's a positive. Times another negative, that would make it negative x cubed. Now, negative x squared, what's a negative x times a negative x? Positive x squared times a -2, that's a minus 2x squared. And finally, what's a -2 times a negative x? That's a positive 2x. Well, let's check the math here, guys. Let's go ahead and graph this one, see if it reflects across the y. Let's get rid of this guy, and let's graph negative x cubed, negative x to the third power, minus 2x squared, plus 2x. And we're going to, once again, let's zoom in, show you exactly what we're working with. And let's see if it's reflecting across the x-axis, the y-axis, sorry. Well, let's take a look. If this was our original, look at this. Isn't it flipping across the y right here? Look at that. If this was our original right here, isn't this flipping right here? Isn't it just a flip on the y? And same thing for here, guys. Look, it's going down this way. If you reflect it, it's going down that way now. Everything is reflected on the y-axis. So very simple way to reflect on whichever line you want. And that's basically what you do.